I will start out with a question. And the question is, have you considered using the word AI on your resume, in your marketing emails, maybe on your web page, maybe on your LinkedIn profile, so that you can get some traction because everybody is doing it. You're seeing everybody's doing it, and you feel like you're left out. If that's who you are, then this video is for you. And whatever I'm sharing here has to do with a recent conversation as early as yesterday at a coffee store, and I was working there, and a friend of mine came by and we were chatting, and then he met a friend of his also there, and they both got into a big debate on how ChatGPT is good and how ChatGPT is bad. That's the conversation. So my friend saying that ChatGPT is now killing creativity in people. It's it's giving this false notion that everybody is an expert, and making things just kind of not driving depth anymore in people. And then the other individual saying that ChatGPT or whatever, all these AI tools are responsible for his success lately. So that was the conversation. I got in the middle. Towards the end, they wanted my opinion on this, and this is exactly what I shared with them that I'm sharing here on this video. Okay. So, first and the foremost, my point was shallow knowledge is dangerous. And there is a lot of shallowness right now when it comes to AI. Clearly, everybody's claiming. And if you are not claiming yet, then I think you should, but you should only claim after a few things. Once you understand, first of all, you have to understand the landscape, and you need to figure out where you want to focus, how deep you want to go, what's your investment going to be in terms of time and acquisition of knowledge. And once you decide that, then you can claim how long it takes. I'm going to give you some ideas. I have a computer science and engineering undergrad that I did 30 years ago, and I'm struggling personally to understand what linear algebra is because it was a long time ago. My mathematical aptitude died when I was 19 years old. And that's when actually your mathematical skills are at the highest when you're 19, and thereafter it declines, and I'm old, and I have to go back and learn. And these are the things that I ignored when I was in school. So it's interesting, things that you do not consider important when you are young are going to come back and haunt you. I have a specific example I talk about all the time, and I'll share it with you. There was, in my 6th or 7th grade, there used to be a problem, or a kind of a problem, where a train crosses a light post, something like that, and we had to derive the length of the train, something like that. So I had to, and I never understood that concept, and I struggled. I used to avoid that question. And there used to be another question. There is a sink that the water coming from the tap fills it's coming at a certain rate, at a certain speed, and then the water is draining from the sink at a certain speed, and after like 2 hours, how much water is left in the tank or something like that. There used to be a question like that. I couldn't answer that either. I never got the concept. Anyway, so these are the things that build the foundation. And if the foundation is weak, and what AI is doing now, if you are really going and calling yourself an AI ML expert, if that's where you are going, then these things, if that aptitude is not there, now you are talking about a longer involvement, a deeper involvement, and really you just have to go deep into this. So basic linear algebra is an issue. If that's all, the tools are amazing. You can do Python, you can do Pandas, you can do Matplotlib. All these tools are amazing. You can do all that, but you have to come back to linear algebra. If that's weak, then that's weak. And now you have a situation. Seriously. Okay. So let's say you are in sales marketing, you are an entrepreneur yourself, and you're not looking forward to this level of becoming an AI professional, AI ML professional. Then you have a different set of problems. The problems are, there are a bunch of tools. Some say they're going to decrease your time. Some say that they are going to increase your productivity. There are so many tools. Literally, every time I open up my Facebook feed, every time I look into my YouTube feed, tons of ads every day. This landscape is changing. And before you go and claim to be an expert, or let's say you are putting together a course or a training program teaching other people how to use AI, what you do not want to do is you learn a bunch of tools on YouTube and you then go and teach other people how to use these tools. You need to start implementing these tools in your own business. You need to be hands-on. You need to acquire the skills, and then you can say, okay, fine, I know how to use AI, and that's my positioning. And you take that positioning because you know it's shallow. This whole thing is shallow because tools are changing. They're everything is so random, everything is so instantaneous that you cannot claim, and you don't have longevity in the space. Nobody does. So, and this is the creator, influencer, teacher, trainer part. Let's go into the engineering side of this. Let's say you are an engineering professional or you want to get into hands-on AI stuff, literally, and which is awesome, by the way. But the problem there is, in order for you to really call yourself an AI professional, you need to be looking at white papers and turning them into implementations. You need to have that level of proficiency, which takes a while depending upon where you are. If you already do that, you have the capability, awesome, great. But think about this. Machine learning, okay, regression, classification, clustering, training data, supervised versus unsupervised learning. I mean, overfitting, model evaluation, so many elements to learn, so many elements to implement. Talk about neural networks, backpropagation, um, uh, what else? Model coverage, different layers learning differently. I mean, how layers learn. That's a whole different category that has to be mastered. Then comes LLMs, tokenization. Then you have embeddings, attention mechanisms. You have prompt engineering versus tune-ups. Uh, transformer architecture, so many things. Then vector databases. Then you have RAGs. So many things to learn. How do models handle memory versus context? I mean, so many things to learn, honestly. And everybody who claims that they know, of course, they know some part. I'll give you one example. This is the one I see all over the place. Oh, these are the prompts I used to turn around my business. These are the prompts I have used to turn around my copy. These are the prompts to come up with offers. These are the prompts I used to put my resume together. Well, yeah, great. But try using the same prompt 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. Every time you do, you have a different outcome, different output. Now, when people are suggesting, if I suggest you to use a set of prompts, what are the things that I need to be worried about when I'm teaching you that? I need to be worried about hallucinations, ethical hallucinations, ethical considerations, hallucinations, bias, safety constraints of AI outputs. I need to be worried about that before I suggest a prompt to you. And when you are using that prompt, you need to be worried about them. Well, apparently nobody's worried about anything anymore. Then we're talking about API integrations. We're talking about model limitations. We're talking about system design, real world workflows, so many things. So from an AI ML standpoint, there is a lot to be learned. And from an engineering standpoint, and from a creator, influencer, teacher, trainer, coach standpoint, you can take a position of, well, I know how to use AI because I use that in my business, and I can teach you how you can save time, you can increase your productivity. So you can teach the heavy lifting part. But the challenge there is that systems are changing very, very fast, and you need to have hands-on. You need to stay hands-on. You need to keep on updating yourself. And the biggest thing is you can't sell hype. You need to sell outcomes, and keeping up with outcomes in a ever-changing landscape is hard. Tools that were relevant about 6 months ago are no more relevant. There's evolutions happening. So bottom line, you got to be honest with your expertise. That's the message on this. That's the message I gave them at the coffee place. And absolutely, you got to go learn these tools. You got to invest time. I'm doing that. I can't claim myself, even though I can, I can put together incredible Python code, and I can do a lot of things with data. I can you can take a set of data, train a subset of data, and come up with all kind of predictive analysis. I can do all those things, but I cannot claim myself to be an AI expert. I cannot claim, I don't want to, because I know when I look at myself in the mirror, I know where I stand with all this. And it takes a while, it takes time. It's a new world that we are in. Okay. So hopefully this video was helpful. If it is, do me a favor. If you like this video, then I can reach a bunch of more people and the algorithm kicks in. If you subscribe to this channel, then I'm here with you literally every day, because I'm producing one video, so I can be in front of you. My idea here today was to kind of give you some idea, to give you some ideas on the technical foundations that are needed for you to call yourself an AI strategist, AI educator, AI consultant, AI enabler, whatever words you want to use. But be careful as you use these words, then you live up to them. Okay, that's all for now. Wherever you are, you be safe, and I'll be with you as early as tomorrow. Take care. Bye now.